Thank you, Dr. Aisha, for reminding. Yes, the session is being recorded and will be shared with all the registered participants after the 4 sessions are complete. So a little bit about me. I'm right now working as a consultant and head of department at the Pakistan Naval Hospital, Shifa, Karachi. I also have a couple of academic appointments. I'm a visiting faculty member at the Dow University of Health Sciences, IPMR, and I'm also an assistant professor in rehabilitation medicine at the Bahria University Medical Dental College. I started doing these workshops back in 2013. I love to teach whatever I have gained over the last 13, 14 years. And I have done a lot of workshops both for students, residents, consultants. I do these workshops as solo with my colleague Nasir Mansoor. I do these workshops in Pakistan. I do these workshops abroad. Alhamdulillah, before COVID came, I had done around 90 workshops in 5 different countries. Apart from that, I'm into research and writing. So far, I have 138 publications, out of which around 67 are international publication. There are a mix of original research article, review article, editorials, case reports, special communication, and brief reports. So far, my publication have around more than 1,000 citations, and my ResearchGate score as of today is 43. So directly coming to the question for which all we have gathered here today is that in order to write a research article for a high impact or an international biomedical journal, please remember there is no one way. You can go online and you will find different training sessions. You can go online and you can actually find different books on this topic. You can find different workshops on this topic. What I'm going to do and what I'm going to share with you is actually based on my own personal experience. It was a pretty good experience. It helped me publish a lot. I collaborated with more than 50 colleagues in 13 countries of the world to publish these 138 publications. And I'm pretty sure that if you follow this advice, hopefully, inshallah, you are also going to write good research article in high ranking, impactful journals, both nationally and internationally. So there can be many ways in which you can proceed that how to write a research article for a good biomedical journal. I'm going to give you 6 principles, and we are going to discuss these 6 principles over the next 4 sessions. Number 1 is plan, train, and make the best use of online resources. And our today's session is solely focused on this thing, that how to make the best use of online resources. Number 1, avoid scientific misconduct at all cost and master the art of literature search. We are going to discuss this inshallah tomorrow. Then we are going to move forward and we are going to discuss what are the important components of a research article and an original research article or a thesis for that matter. Then we are probably going to only touch upon referencing styles, techniques, and the softwares available. And in the last session or the 4th session, we are going to discuss that you have to put in your best effort while submitting a manuscript. So we are going to discuss how to write a research article based on these 6 principles. Before we start, let me share with you some stories. These stories are original stories of my colleagues, of all my seniors or my students. So I just want to have your perspective, if you can help them out. So first story is of Abdullah. Please read it on the screen. He is a 3rd-year MBBS student. He plans to conduct some research in order to present it annual research day next year. He is a novice in research. Abhi start kiya, उसे पता नहीं research कैसे करनी है. What advice would you give him? This is the first story. Isko padhiye and then we'll move forward. Dr. Arshad, he is an assistant professor at a medical college. He wants to conduct research to fulfill the PMDC requirement for the promotion and to improve his CV, curriculum vitae. He has conducted a small research project in the past as part of his FCPS dissertation program, but now he wants to do something big, new and significant. So what advice would you give to these 2 guys? अब ये ख्याल कीजिए, एक इनमें से स्टूडेंट है और एक इनमें से असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर है. एक बिल्कुल स्टार्ट कर रहा है, एक को कुछ बेसिक्स पता है, एफसीपीएस में कुछ डिसर्टेशन लिखी थी, कुछ मोटा-मोटा आइडिया था, but both of them want to do some good quality research. So if you were in their place, what would you do first of all? Simple, write 1 or 2 points or maybe main words in the chat box. Ji. How would you go about it? Think about research question, ठीक है? Search for mentor. Dr. Sajad कह रहे हैं mentor good. Dr. Mahsood कहते हैं for student do a research course. RQ, whoever it is, who should have a clear objective to proceed. Dr. Kiran, third year student, ask your senior. वैसे डॉक्टर किरण अगर वो अपने सीनियर को कहेगा, सीनियर कहेगा बेटा इस तरह काम करना है, आखिर में सीनियर उसका सारा काम ले जाएगा और नाम भी उसका नहीं आएगा. आई मीन इट्स व्हाट हैपेंस इन पाकिस्तान. ओके, डॉक्टर अमारा ने बड़ी जबरदस्त बात की. ऑथर एड, वर्कशॉप, लिटरेचर सर्च, रीड अ लॉट, फैंटास्टिक. For the AP, collaborate with others. And for Dr. Anila says, research question and collaborate with other students. Fantastic. So you guys have a pretty good idea how to proceed. So let me share what my perspective would be, or how I proceeded, and how you should proceed, whether you are a senior, a junior, a novice, or an expert. So I would like to take you back to the time of Abraham Lincoln, who said, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe, which means the first step should be gather resources and train for that task. Now, it's very important that whatever you want to do, and most of you in this session are professionals, whether they are healthcare professionals, where they are physicians, paramedical staff, or other staff, all of you passed through a training program before you were certified to do certain things. When it comes to research and writing, everyone is very enthusiastic and they want to do research and writing for different purposes and for different backgrounds. That's fine. But most of us are not formally trained for the job that we want to do in a good way. And unfortunately, most of us, they start their journey of research and writing in the wrong direction. And please remember, people often say, practice makes a man perfect. It's incorrect. Perfect practice makes a man perfect. So if you start doing a thing in the wrong way, and you keep on doing in the wrong way for the rest of your lives, you are not going to achieve your goals. So first of all, please pause. Please take a pause and see what resources you have at your disposal. Please train for the task for a couple of months to weeks, and even if take a year or more. Oh, it's just like whenever you want to drive a car from, let's say, from Karachi to Islamabad, you simply don't start driving. You do your homework first. You see the map, the layout. You ask your seniors, your colleagues, and people who have traveled on that road, what should I do? Where should I make the stop? How should I use the Google Maps or some other things, right? The most important part to understand for people in the 21st century is that once upon a time, when I started off with my, residency 15, 16 years back, there were not so many resources available to everyone. The resources were very few, and it cost a lot of money to access those resources. Right now, in the 21st century, there are literally millions of resources which are free of cost for everyone in any part of the world. So please try to make the best use of these resources. And just a disclaimer, for these particular training session, I'm only going to share resources which are free or almost free, so that each one of you can go back, explore those resources, and enroll in those training programs. So the first thing that I'm going to share is Coursera and edX. I'm sure that many of you have already heard the names Coursera and edX because of COVID-19. Most of the training has already shifted online, and many people have started doing courses or courses on Coursera and edX. Coursera and edX are what we call MOOCs, M-O-O-C, Massive Online Open Access Courses. As the name indicates, massive means thousands of students can enroll in these courses at one time. Open access means they're open to everyone. You don't have to pay a single penny. Online means they're delivered wholly, solely online, either synchronous or asynchronous. Synchronous means live session. Asynchronous means the session has been recorded and you can go online and access the session at your own convenience. Now, the great thing about Coursera and edX is that they are great equalizers. They allow people like you and me sitting in Pakistan or any other developing country to have access to world-class education from instructors and from experts working in world-class universities like Berkeley, Harvard, Oxford, Chicago, you just name it. I'm not going to spend much time here. I just want to give you a food for thought. Please go back once the session ends. And at least if you haven't done so far, please make a free account on Coursera and edX and start exploring these resources. There are literally thousands of courses, and many of the courses are directly related to biomedical research and writing. For example, data analysis, data interpretation, biostatistics, how to write an article, and how to do presentations, how to do posters, how to do oral presentations, so many things. So please go online and explore these two resources. Apart from that, I would like to recommend one more resource. And again, this resource was launched in year 2017, which means that before this era, we did not have access to this world-class resource. This resource is known as Elsevier Academy. You can see the link on the screen. It's www.researcheracademy.elsevier.com. This Researcher Academy is launched by Elsevier, and most of you are well aware that Elsevier is one of the largest publishing groups in the world. They publish a lot of scientific literature and data specifically related to biomedical sciences. And this is a free Researcher Academy. So if you enroll in this academy free of cost, they would take you on a journey of how to write and publish and then disseminate that research article with the wider world. So please do go online, make a free account on researcheracademy.elsevier.com, and then start your journey toward writing an international article. The important thing about Researcher Academy is that many of the instructors on Researcher Academy are actually editors, big time authors and researchers working in the western part of the world or the developed world like Japan, Australia, Europe, and Northern America, US, and Canada. So these are the people who actually evaluate your research, and they would give you tips on how to write a good research article. So if you really want to write a good research article, please learn from the experts who are sitting at the top and who manage all these articles. So please go online and become a free member on researcheracademy.elsevier.com. Second step. Second step is read a lot. And I can tell you that as physicians or researchers based in Pakistan, this is something that we tend to ignore a lot. Please read this quotation and simply write whether you agree or disagree with this. Good writing is good reading. Writing comes from reading, and reading is the finest teacher on how to write. Please remember, oh, sorry, I'm sorry. You cannot have good ideas if you don't read. You don't become a good clinician if you don't read. And let me tell you clearly that literature search or reading articles has nothing to do with biomedical search only. If you want to become a good clinician who is at the cutting edge of the research and who wants to provide good quality service to his or her patients, he or she has to continuously update him or herself. You have to read a lot. You have to read the literature. You have to scan it occasionally. You cannot have ideas if you don't do literature search. You cannot have a good research question if you don't do literature search. You cannot identify the gaps on which you can do further research if you don't read a lot. So please remember, if you want to write a good research article in an international biomedical journal, I will emphasize this point a lot, that you have to read a lot. We are going to discuss how to read and how to do research in the second session tomorrow, hopefully, inshallah. But please remember that reading is one of the things that is going to help you become a published writer. And research has shown that as we go up in the hierarchy and as we progress in our academic careers, our reading habits go down. Please, apne aap ko zara, just those of you who are senior, I mean, people like maybe 10 or 15 years after your graduation, please बताइए, क्या आप आजकल ज्यादा पढ़ते हैं या जब आप स्टूडेंट से तब ज्यादा पढ़ते थे? In your studentships, you might be reading 40, 50, 100 pages of your big, thick books in a day. But आजकल आपको 10 सफ़े का आर्टिकल पढ़ने में मुश्किल होती है. आर्टिकल नहीं पढ़ेंगे, रीडिंग नहीं करेंगे, आइडियाज कहाँ से आएंगे? So please try to understand this point and try to integrate it in your clinical practice. Step 3, find research mentors. Why? Learn from the mistakes of others. You cannot live long enough to make them all yourself. The journey of research and writing is pretty old. It's thousands of years old. Millions of people before you in different parts of the world tried to do some kind of research in their own way before us. It would be very prudent to learn from their experience and to do a research in a better way. किसी की गलती से सीखना बेहतर होता है बजाय के बंदा गलतियां खुद करे. You can't live long enough to make them all yourself. Number 2, it has been attributed to Isaac Newton. If I have seen further, it is by standing upon the shoulder of giants. Your teachers, your mentors, your supervisors, they are the people who provide you with the shoulder that allow you and me to see things that probably they cannot see. इसकी एक और जो इंटरप्रिटेशन या एक और इसकी जो कोटेशन आती है, अ ड्वार्फ स्टैंडिंग अपॉन द शोल्डर ऑफ जायंट्स कैन सी फर्दर देन द जायंट हिमसेल्फ। अगर किसी बौने को खड़ा कर दो किसी देव के कंधे पे, तो वो देव से 2 फुट ऊपर होकर देखता है और देव से आगे देख सकता है। बट दैट डज नॉट मीन कि उस जायंट की वैल्यू कम हो जाती है। योर टीचर्स, योर मेंटर्स, योर सुपरवाइजर, दे आर द पीपल हु प्रोवाइडेड यू विद दोज स्टेप्स, विद दोज शोल्डर्स, जिसकी बुनियाद पे खड़े होकर आप और मैं आज यहाँ बैठे और बात कर रहे हैं। But the real problem in this real world is, at least in context of Pakistan, is you don't get good mentors. And please remember, there's a lot of difference between a mentor and a supervisor. Supervisor is a sort of a sarkari official appointment, जिसमें unfortunately most of people think that मुझे 8-10 ट्रेनिंग मिल जाएंगे, वो सारे काम करेंगे और आखिर में मेरे लिए वो आर्टिकल बना के लाएंगे, या वो खुद ही सिनॉप्सिस लिखेंगे, खुद ही डिसर्टेशन लिखेंगे और आखिर में मैं उसके फर्स्ट पेज पे साइन कर दूंगा या कर दूंगी। I'm sorry if it hurts someone's sentiments, but this is the reality of Pakistan. यहाँ ये PhD और FCPS और CPSP सुपरवाइजर मैं बहुत सारे जानता हूँ जो इस तरह की सुपरविजन कर रहे हैं। They are not mentors. They are simply opportunistic pathogens जो क्या नाम है academically लोगों को exploit कर रहे हैं। Once we talk of mentor, we talk of someone who goes beyond all these things. The real problem in Pakistan is that either people don't get enough mentors, या अगर आपको अच्छा mentor मिलता है तो he or she does not have enough time. Human beings have limitations. You cannot mentor 20 or 30 people at one time. We have our own personal life as well. We have to balance the work-life balance. So what do? So if you don't have a mentor in your own department, in your own institute, in your own hospital, please go online on author8.info. Now a quick task for all of you. Please open up your browsers and type this www.author8.info और इन 2 सवालों के जवाब दीजिए। How many members are registered on Author8 and how many countries are represented on Author8? Please, quick task. Do it right now. मैं आपकी चैट देख लेता हूँ। And please write the answer in the chat box. Quickly go online, open the browser and type this www.author8.info and please write the answer. How many members are registered on Author8 and how many countries are represented on Author8? और डॉक्टर यूसुफ जमाल फर्स्ट आ गए हैं, डॉक्टर हफ्सा पराचा सेकंड हैं। आपका आंसर बिल्कुल करेक्ट है। आई विश कि ये अपना होता कोई ऐसा फोरम कि आपको मैं इनाम दे सकता। बाय द वे, व्हेन आई डू माय लाइव वर्कशॉप्स इन कराची, सो वी हैव दिस लिबर्टी बुक्स गिफ्ट कार्ड। तो जो करेक्ट आंसर देता है उसको हम 500 रुपए का लिबर्टी बुक्स का गिफ्ट कार्ड देते हैं। आई होप कि हालात बेहतर हो और हम इंशाल्लाह लाइव वर्कशॉप करें और आपको हम गिफ्ट दें। सो प्लीज लुक एट दिस। Author8.info is a global forum. It has got 20,000 researchers from more than 175 countries of the world. Just imagine the collective wisdom that is available on this forum for you. And out of these 20,000, many of them are healthcare professionals and many of them are registered as mentors. Mentor means that they are teachers, they are ready to help others, and many are registered as mentees. Okay, we want some help from experts. Or believe you me, I have learned a lot from Author8, and I would request you to please, once this session ends, at least if you are not a member of Author8 already, please go online and explore this resource, and you can see you have got opportunities for mentoring, opportunities for funding, opportunities for resources, and there's a discussion forum as well. So the world is moving at a very different and fast pace. Now the world is moving towards collective wisdom and collective knowledge. So please go online and explore Author8 and you will inshallah get a good mentor who is going to help you and not exploit you. And you're lucky because I just came to know that around in 2 weeks time, Author8 is going to conduct the next massive online open access course, which is titled Research and Proposal Writing in the Sciences. This is an 8-week course, which is going to start on 8th of September. It's a free online course. And as you can see, the main topics which will be covered in this course include literature review, research and publication ethics, writing and publishing a research paper, and writing a grant proposal. So I would strongly recommend that please you should enroll in this online course. Normally 2,000 to 3,000 people from all parts of the world they enroll in this course. I have done this course once, and then then I usually join this course as a facilitator. But I can tell you over 8 weeks, और ये बहुत मुश्किल नहीं है, आपको हफ्ते में खाली 2-3 घंटे लगाने पड़ेंगे, but very detailed course, एक स्टेप बताते हैं, और उसमें डिफरेंट एक्सरसाइजेस होती हैं, ऑनलाइन इंटरेक्शन होती है, डिस्कशन फोरम्स होते हैं, एंड होपफुली एट द एंड ऑफ 8 weeks, अगर आप ये मेरे 4 सेशन करते हैं प्लस ये 8 weeks का कोर्स करते हैं, I'm pretty confident that each one of you who does both of these sessions will inshallah write a research article in 6 to 8 months time. So please do go online, explore this, and register free of cost. Next step. Can somebody explain me ये क्या हो रहा है? Any brilliant ideas in the, please write in the chat box, ये क्या हो रहा है? Helping. Dr. Kiran is saying helping. Okay. Anything else? Teamwork. Dr. Hafsa, thank you very much. Okay, this is teamwork. Team means together everyone achieves more. So ये आखिर में दो बंदे क्या कर रहे हैं जो फिंगर पॉइंट कर रहे हैं? These people in the right lower corner. Directing to put the thing right. Exactly, Dr. Aisha, I agree with you. Doing nothing. ये हमारे वो कोलीग्स हैं, हमारे ये वो लोग हैं जिन्होंने काम कोई नहीं करना होता और सिर्फ तनकीद करते हैं, तनकीद बराए तनकीद. यू स्टार्ट राइटिंग एन आर्टिकल एज अ यंगस्टर, और यहाँ आपको सीनियर मिलेंगे विद ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट. मेरे साथ ये हो चुका है. या तुम कल के बच्चे हो, तुम्हें रिसर्च करने का बहुत शौक है, मतलब अभी MBBS किया नहीं है, रिसर्च करना शुरू हो गए हो, ट्रेनिंग में भी तुम्हें फर्स्ट ईयर है, रिसर्च करना शुरू हो गए हो, तुम तो बहुत छोटे हो, तुम कैसे रिसर्चर बन सकते हो, तुम अच्छा आर्टिकल कैसे पब्लिश कर सकते हो. So please remember, if you want to do good work, if you want to write good research article, you have to involve a team. ये सोलो फ्लाइट, मैं बहुत काबिल हूँ, मतलब मैं अपनी वो सलाहियतों से आगे बढ़ा हूँ, आई एम रियली सॉरी, रियल वर्ल्ड में ऐसी कोई चीज नहीं होती. ये आपका ज़र्फ है कि आप बाकियों को एक्नॉलेज करते कि नहीं करते. बट अगेन, whenever you want to write a good, really good research article, it's always based on collective wisdom and a teamwork. Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. And I'll give you scientific evidence for this. So this was an article which is titled the top 100 cited articles in the top 100 cited neurorehabilitation papers. जो न्यूरोरिहेबिलिटेशन की फील्ड है, उसमें दुनिया में जो टॉप के 100 पेपर्स हैं जिनको बहुत ज्यादा साइटेशंस मिली हैं, उस आर्टिकल का जो एक कंक्लूजन है वो ये है, the top cited papers result from group collaboration, group endeavors, with 90% of the papers involving a collaboration among 3 or more authors. क्या मतलब? If there are more people, more wisdom coming in from different part of the country or the world, it means that that article is going to become a good article, and it might actually turn up to be one of the top 100 article for that particular specialty. And that article will get more citations. It will be cited more. उसको लोग more reference करेंगे. Another example, from a bibliometric analysis of pediatric liver transplantation publication. So what they did was कि जो pediatric liver transplantation के ऊपर publication थी पूरी दुनिया में पिछले 25-30 साल में, उसके ऊपर उन्होंने research की. And again, look at the conclusion. Collaborations at a national and international level produce highly cited articles which are found in influential journals. So if you want to publish your research article in a good ranking journal, in an index journal, you have to work in a team. It is possible that you work solo and you might be able to publish good article, but again, it is pretty difficult. And in some cases, it's not even actually possible. So you have to make a good team, and good team, a team endeavor always results in a good product. But we have to understand the problems associated with teamwork, especially the problem associated with youngsters. So whenever youngsters are working in a team in which there's a power differential, at one end there's an undergraduate medical or a dental student, and the other end there's a head of department, a full professor, or a big time researcher. So sometimes people hesitate to ask questions, sometimes people get exploited, they do all the hard work, and in the end they don't get any credit. This is a reality, and I'm going, throughout this training session, I'm going to express these things, because ये वो तल्ख हकीकतें हैं जिस पे हम बात नहीं करते. किताबों में ये बातें लिखी नहीं होती, जो हमारे फॉरेन स्पीकर्स कोर्सेज कराते हैं उनके चैलेंजेस ये होते नहीं हैं, इस पे वो बात नहीं करते. और हमारे जो कोलीग्स हैं, आई नो मैनी कोलीग्स हु गेट एक्सप्लॉइटेड व्हेन दे स्टार्ट वर्किंग इन अ टीम. So there are certain consideration for research group collaboration that you should actually understand and try to implement. and that is going to make your team collaboration better, and hopefully the outcome is going to be a good collaboration resulting in a high impact research article. Number one, clear and open communication. This is the first thing that you need to understand. So whether you are a youngster, whether you are a senior professor, when it comes to research endeavor or a group collaboration, please remember all of you are going to share the same table. एक टेबल पे बैठ के सारे बात करेंगे. ये नहीं होगा कि जो सीनियर है उसको आप बड़ी चेयर दे दोगे और यंगस्टर जमीन पे बैठा होगा. You all are going to share the same table, which means you have to speak up. You have to express whatever concerns you have. You have to ask about each and every step. How we are going to collect the data. What is our research question? What is our purpose of doing this research? Where the funding will come from? Who is going to do and who is going to do what? And whatever you do, please document that. If you say it only, मतलब हवा और बातों का कोई record नहीं होता unless you document that. And if you're really interested, please email me at the end of the session. मैंने अपना एक research document बनाया हुआ है, and whenever I collaborate with my colleagues, I always ask them to sign that document. उस document में clearly लिखा हुआ है कि what we are supposed to do, what are our roles, and इसको again assigning the roles. For example, in a group of let's say 5 or 6 people, not everyone is really good with the writing part. Not everyone can understand the biostatistics. Not everyone can actually do the data collection. Not everyone is very good with like typing and making these research proposals. So everyone has to contribute to every part, but कुछ लोगों का हिस्सा बढ़ जाता है. So for example, if it's very clear that someone of you is really good in communication and he or she might be able to get 80% data. So the data collection is actually his main role that he or she has to play. There's someone who's really good with the writing part. So once you are done with the data collection, you start writing. Now he or she is going to come up and he or she is going to do maybe the first draft or the critical revision. So if you clearly assign the roles, everyone is clear what they are supposed to do in that research project, and the outcome is really good. But whatever you do, please document it clearly and ask your colleagues to sign that document. And I clearly tell my colleagues, if someone is not willing to sign that document, that's a red flag sign. This means that this person is probably not willing to work hard or contribute, or he or she is planning to exploit. So please back off. And last but not least, this I'm going to discuss in detail later on, ICMJ guidelines. ICMJ stands for International Committee of Medical Journal Editors. And these guidelines are absolutely fantastic. It's an 18-page document, PDF online, freely available. And we are going to discuss what's the value of ICMJ guidelines. Step 5, statistician consult and review before you start doing your research. Again, my question, do you agree, do you disagree? ये stat अभी research question तो बना नहीं है और अभी data collect किया नहीं है, तो stat वाले से मिलने की क्या जरूरत है? Do you agree or disagree that you need a statistician consult before you plan your research? And why is that, by the way? Mariam, Dr. Kazim, Dr. Aisha, Hafsa, Fawad, Sajjad, fantastic. Everyone take it to discuss the plan. Okay. So most of you agree that a statistician should be consulted. Can anyone identify this gentleman? Can anyone identify this gentleman? Nobel laureate. Okay. Anything else? बाबा जी कौन है? Okay. मेरे टीचर कहा करते थे कि बेटा always try to look at the finer details. If you look at the left lower corner, probably आपको नजर आ रहा है. This is Fisher. You might have heard the Miller-Fisher curve or your biostats. So this gentleman, yes, Dr. Masood, thank you very much. This is, yes, Fisher exact test. Thank you very much. यार, बहुत शुक्रिया आपका. So this gentleman is Fisher, and look what he said. Read the slide. To consult the statistician after an experiment or research is finished is often merely to ask him to conduct a post-mortem examination. He can perhaps say what the experiment died of. बात समझिए आप लोगों को कि once you have done the research, once you have collected the data, ठीक है, उसके बाद data analysis तो वो कर देगा, लेकिन अगर आपका क्या नाम है research question ही गलत था, आपका research design या study design incorrect था, आपने जो data collect किया उसमें से 3 important parameter missing थे. Now how can you expect your statistician to correct those things. Retrospectively वो correct नहीं हो सकती. And please remember that poor and incorrect study design is one of the top 10 reasons for which articles are rejected from international biomedical journals. Number one. And number two, a study design can never be corrected after the research has been done. You cannot convert your randomized control trial into a cross-sectional survey and vice versa. You cannot convert a prospective study into a retrospective chart review. It's not possible. So you have to consult a biostatistician before you start planning your research, after you have done a little bit of literature search. Now the challenge with people in Pakistan is, at least with physicians, is जो अक्सर मेरे दोस्त मुझसे शिकवा करते हैं वो ये करते हैं कि many a times biostatisticians do not have a background of medical sciences, and they cannot and because they are very much expert in applying tests, so they are more concerned in like number values, and they don't get the question that we are going to ask. So let me tell you that there are many physicians and healthcare professionals who have taken up biostatistics as a research, as a career, and they're available for consultation, and they do charge for their services. I know a couple of them, and you can ask me, I will connect you with them. But they are really good physician with a background in biostatistics available in Pakistan, who would help you out with your data analysis, research design, study design, and data management. So if you need any help, please email me after the end of the session and I'll connect you with those. Next step, how to choose a research topic. Now, please understand this thing. We have not reached the research question yet. We are only talking about the research topic. So I'll give you my perspective. How do you choose a research topic? मतलब how do you choose a research topic? आपके पास ideas क्या होते हैं? Gaps in literature. So Dr. Khola, how do you identify gaps in literature? Okay, Dr. Fawad, the topic which I know a lot and think about a lot. Good. Dr. Afshan, field of interest, literature search. Yes, Dr. Khola, literature search. Relevance, Medline, previous studies. Fantastic. Recent, fantastic. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much. Bilkul theek hai. So there can be many ways in which you can choose a research topic, but my recommendation or request would be, please choose a topic that is closer to your heart, जिसमें आपका interest हो, जिसमें आप काम कर रहे हो, और जिसमें क्या नाम है आप enjoy करते हो काम करना. So if you choose a research topic of your own interest, of your own liking, you would actually love your research work. But unfortunately, for many young researchers, students, residents, trainees, people who are doing undergraduate degrees, unfortunately they don't have an option. उनके इंटरेस्ट का कोई नहीं पूछता और जो सुपरवाइजर का इंटरेस्ट होता है वो करना पड़ता है. सो जहां मजबूरी है, वेल एंड गुड, ठीक है, समटाइम इन लाइफ वी डोंट गेट व्हाट वी प्लान, बट जहां पॉसिबल हो, प्लीज गो फॉर योर ओन इंटरेस्ट. Number two, again, it all comes back to your mentor supervisor. Please remember, especially in cases of youngsters, they have enthusiasm, they have time, they have will to work, and they can do a good job. Unfortunately, because of lack of expertise, they don't have the vision, they don't have the experience that their seniors, supervisors, or mentors have. So it's very, very important that at the start of your research journey, you must get a good mentor. The mentor will guide you in the right direction. The mentor will identify a good research topic for you. हो सकता है जिसको आप important समझते हो, your mentor, because of his or her experience, would guide you कि बेटा इस topic पे बहुत काम हो चुका है, please don't do this, start doing this. So research mentor की value हर step पे रहेगी. एक अच्छा उस्ताद जिंदगी बदल सकता है, and this is true for research as well. Apart from that, I strongly advise to look right and left among your peers. In many institutes, departments, and hospitals, they are really good colleagues of yours who are doing high quality research and who are publishing many good articles. Please go to them and ask their perspective. Ask them how do they do things. Ask them that what are the hot research topics that on which they are working and whether they would like to collaborate with you or not. So कभी भी घर की मुर्गी को दाल बराबर मत समझिए, अपने peers की advice लीजिए and they can guide you in a much better way. Because remember, supervisors and teachers can guide you, but mostly and many a time they are from a different time zone. For example, there's a difference of 16, 18 years between me and my trainee. So I can guide him very well. But his challenges are in in year 2020 are totally different from my challenges in year 2005. So sometimes you have to go to your peers and your colleagues, and they can advise you and give you a real good advice. And last but not least, in literature search that can help you identify a good research topic. इसमें हम कल इंशाल्लाह बात करेंगे. Two resources. There are like million resources, right? Two resources that can help you to identify a good research topic. Number one, clinicaltrials.gov. And if you can see on the screen that clinicaltrials.gov right now has more than 340,000 research studies from more than 200 countries of the world. Again, isko explore quickly. Quick task for you again. Go to your browser, enter this www.clinicaltrials.gov, enter Pakistan in the country tab in the right lower corner, and please tell me what is the name of the study on serial number 6. Quick task. Open up your browser, please. किसी का माइक म्यूट नहीं है तो काइंडली अगर म्यूट कर दें प्लीज. थैंक यू. Fantastic. Yeah, Yusuf, you are doing really good, yaar, mashallah. I'll wait for a couple of seconds more. बाकी colleagues भी कर लें. www.clinicaltrials.gov, enter Pakistan in the country tab, and please, what is the name for name of the study on serial number 6? Yusuf, yes, मुलाकात हुई मैं भिजवा दूंगा आपको दाऊद के हाथ इंशाल्लाह. मरियम, थैंक यू, बिल्कुल ठीक लिखा. M Health for pneumonia prevention. Good, Dr. Hafsa. Anyone else? एक और फिर हम आगे चलते हैं. So the answer is M Health or Mobile Health for Pneumonia Prevention is the study number 6, and it is still recruiting. I would strongly recommend कि आप लोग ना इसमें जब भी आपने कोई research topic लेना हो ना, and just to see कि what's happening around, please go online and explore clinicaltrials.gov. You can enter both Pakistan and you can do a general research all around the globe. इसके दो बड़े फायदे हैं. Number one, जिस तरह हमें अक्सर लिखना पड़ता है synopsis या एक protocol. So most of these studies registered on clinicaltrials.gov have a detailed research protocol with each and everything mentioned. That what is the inclusion criteria, what is the exclusion criteria, what is the study design, how they will recruit the patient, how will they do the blinding, how will they ensure anonymity, कैसे वो randomization करेंगे, कैसे वो मतलब के patient को follow up करेंगे, जो loss to follow up होंगे उनका वो क्या करेंगे. So this particular website is going to give you a lot of ideas on how good research is being conducted internationally. Number one, ये फायदा है. The second most important thing that you need to understand, especially those people who are planning to do a randomized control trial or a clinical trial, please remember that you cannot publish your randomized control trial in any good medical journal in Pakistan or abroad if you don't have a clinical trial registry number. I will repeat, you cannot publish your randomized control trial or interventional trial in any good biomedical journal in Pakistan or abroad if you don't have a clinical trial registry number. So अगर आप कोई randomized control trial, कोई interventional trial plan कर रहे हो, in any case you have to register your study on clinicaltrials.gov. That's the importance of exploring and knowing clinicaltrials.gov. Apart from that, there's another fantastic website which is known as oatd.org. OATD stands for Open Access and Thesis Dissertation. Open Access, Thesis and Dissertation. As you can see, it has around 0.5 million, 5 lakh dissertation or thesis is available in this वक्त. Many of them are related to healthcare sciences. And especially for those of my colleagues who are residents or who are trainees and who are struggling with their research work, research protocols, and they want to know how to do it, it's a very good starting point for all of you. Why? Because if you read a research article, the methodology is very brief. The methodology many a time does not tell you कि detailed step या एक step क्या था research का. But in a thesis or dissertation, each and every step is mentioned in detail. So if you really want to know what happened or how to do research, what are different steps of research, you have to read and explore a dissertation or a thesis. और ये आपके सामने ऑप्शन अवेलेबल है, oatd.org, free thesis and dissertations, many of them on biomedical topics, probably very close to the research that you are planning. So go online, explore this, number one. Number two, many a time you are exploring a subject and you don't get good literature search on that. So as you might be knowing that one of the components of a thesis or dissertation is literature search. It might be a 20, 30, or maybe a 50 pages of literature search, which is part of a dissertation and thesis. So if you are looking for a comprehensive literature search on a particular topic, you should actually go online and try to download a thesis or dissertation on that particular topic, because that thesis is going to have at least 20 to 30 pages of detailed literature review and critique on that topic. So ये दो बहुत बड़े बड़े फायदे होते हैं एक dissertation और thesis explore करने के for your research article. Moving forward, step 7 is the one in which you are going to create a good research question. अब आपको बात समझ आई कि if you go step by step, the journey might be a bit long. It might take a little bit longer than you were expecting, but the outcome is going to be perfect. And we are going to discuss this again and again. A good research question is the basis for a good research. ये वो बुनियाद है जिसके ऊपर आपकी पूरी की पूरी इमारत खड़ी होगी रिसर्च की. So if your research question is good, it's going to help you throughout your research process. So what does SMART stands for? SMART. What does SMART stand for? Good, Dr. Aisha. Specific. Good. Anything else? MART. Anyone? Measurable. Mariam. Good. Ruqayya. Measure. Khola. Specific. Measurable. Good. ART. Hafza. Thank you. Time bound. Good. Yusuf. A. Attainable. Fantastic. Achievable or attainable. Good. That's fine. Okay. Anything else? Good. What is R? R. Reliable. Anila. ठीक है. Relevant. Good. Research. Reliable. Realistic. Thank you. Okay. Fantastic यार. This is a good I mean जो मेरे हैं अच्छी गपशप चल रही है. माशाल्लाह, you people are responsive. So let's see. There can be many interpretation of the SMART mnemonic, but I'm going to share or explain the one which I felt is the most appropriate. So S stands for specific. Specific and simple. For example, often people come to me and say, Dr. Saab, back pain पे research करनी है, depression पे research करनी है, carpal tunnel syndrome पे research करनी है. Please remember, there is no research on carpal tunnel syndrome. There's no research on back pain. There's no research on depression. I'll explain. You have to create a good specific research question. For example, incidence of depression in postpartum females in Rawalpindi division. Now, it's a very specific question focused on a very specific group. If you have a specific question, you will get a specific good answer which you can publish in a research article. If you ask vague questions, you're going to get vague answers and nobody's going to publish that. Back pain. There's no research on back pain, but you might want to do a research on comparison of diclofenac sodium versus naproxen sodium in management of acute back pain in young adults. It's a very specific question focused on pharmacological intervention on acute back pain in young adults. A specific question means specific answer. A good literature search, good answers, and then you can build upon that. So number one, it has to be specific. Number two is measurable. Measurable means that whenever you can use a scale or a tool, please use that. For example, if we talk of pain, so how do you define whether it is an acute pain or a subacute pain or a chronic pain? So you have divided that within 4 weeks, it's an acute pain. 4 to 12, subacute pain. More than 12, chronic pain, back pain. So this might be your inclusion criteria. Then how do you measure the intensity of pain? You simply can't say कि मरीज कह रहा था बहुत दर्द है. बहुत दर्द is nothing. You have to use a scale, a simple scale like a visual analog scale, 0 to 10, and you can measure whether the patient is having mild, moderate, or severe pain. Depression. How do you gauge depression? Do you really say इसकी शक्ल से लग रहा है ये depressed है? No, it doesn't work that way right now. You have to use a specific measurable tool, and the tool will allow other professionals in other part of the world to understand the research that you are doing. So whenever possible, please remember to use a tool. And if it is a validated tool, it's fantastic. And if it's not validated, validation of a tool in your own local context is a research in itself. It's a long discussion, फिर हम कभी करेंगे. So measurable, M is measurable. ART, attainable, realistic, time bound. अब ये तीनों चीजें आपस में मिक्स हैं, तो इनको मैं इकट्ठा ही मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ. Attainable means attainable and realistic means please try to do things that you can do. For example, you want to do a research on, for example, an MRI based research on some disease. An MRI is not even available in your hospital. How are you even planning to do a research on that? And please remember, in 2020, it's not possible that, oh, I will go to the neighboring hospital, to my colleague's hospital and collect data. No one allows you to enter their hospital and collect data on their patients in year 2020. Now it's pretty difficult or nearly impossible. There are a lot of legalities involved. So please do things that are attainable and realistic. You are a first year MBBS, DPT or a BDS student, and you want to do a research on a cohort of 20,000 people. I'm really sorry, but unless you are part of a global research team, you are not going to collect data on 20,000 people from 3 different countries. I'm sorry, it's not attainable or realistic. You have to see your own limitations in which you are working. Time bound means that most of us know our time limitations. For example, if I talk of physicians, doctors working with PMDC, 5 years for assistant professor, 3 years for associate professor. And you have to produce probably 5 articles for assistant and 3 articles for associate professor. So once you know that you have a time period of 5 years or 3 years, why don't you start working from day one? Why do you wait till the last 6 months or 1 year? And that's the time once you start threatening people, you start threatening your colleagues or your juniors, you start requesting them, or you simply go online and you then get a false or a fake thesis and dissertation on an article. Don't do that. If you are enrolled in a 4-year training program, FCPS or MD program, you know that you have to submit your dissertation or thesis at the end of 4 years. Why do you wait till year 3 or 4? Start working on that on year 1. You need to understand and then respect your time bound limitations. So if you work like this, hopefully your research question is going to be a smart question, and it's going to help you in write a good research article. As we come to the end, the 8th step that I would recommend you is that you should follow the ICMJ guidelines. So what are ICMJ guidelines? ICMJ guidelines stands for International Committee of Medical Journal Editors. These are guidelines which are globally accepted by thousands of biomedical journals all around the world, including Pakistan. And these are constantly being updated. It's an 18-page document. I would strongly request and recommend you, please download these 18 pages and read them. It would hardly take you like 2 hours, but it would give you a brief overview how an international article is published and what things they do ask for. For example, look at this. What is authorship? What is peer review? What are clinical trials? And how to do registration of trial, data sharing, manuscript section, the title page, abstract, introduction, method, and stuff like that. So please go online on icmj.org, download them after the session and read it. Let's do a quick task, another one. So please go online on icmje.org and look at this link. Look at this link on the left lower corner. Request to receive an email when the recommendations are updated. So please do this and it will open up like this. Subscribe to changes and simply put in your name and your email and click submit. Once you have done that, please write yes in the chat box. So first of all, go on icmje.org. Look at this quick link in the left lower corner. Click this request to receive an email when the recommendations are updated. And then, do this, subscribe to changes. Once you have done that, please, oh, fantastic. Mariam has done, Yusuf has done it. So whosoever has done it, inshallah, now you will always remain updated regarding the future updates of ICMJ guidelines. Dr. Hafsa has done it. Dr. Fawaz has done it. Come on, बाकी लोग भी कर दो यार, कुछ काम मैं साथ करा के जाऊंगा because I know बाद में लोग भूल जाते हैं. Dr. Good, Varisha has done it. Ruqayya, fantastic. Anyone else? Only 6 people have done it so far, and we have like 54 people in this session. Bilawal has done. Fatima, Amara, good. Fantastic. Roma ne kar liya, Sajjad ne, fantastic. Dr. Safdar ne. Okay, so repeat the procedure. Go online on icmje.org. Look at the left lower corner, quick links. Click this one, request to receive an email when the recommendation are updated, and simply put in your name and your email, and you will remain updated whenever these ICMJ guidelines are updated. Sorry, Dr. Aisha keh rahi hai, she can't find it on the cell. Don't worry, you can do it later on. कोई issue नहीं है. So most of you have already done it, so I'll move forward. Okay. So this is where you actually start doing your field work, which includes data collection, data entry, data analysis, results, and interpretation. Now again, please pause for a moment. If you have done your homework well, which means you have trained for the task, you have done some online course, or you have a good mentor who can guide you in the right direction, you have a good team, and every team member knows what he or she is supposed to do, that their roles have been assigned, you have done your good literature search, you have consulted the biostatistician before you started your research, you have a good research topic in your mind, you have a good smart research question, and after that you go in the field and you start the data collection, entry, analysis, and interpretation. Don't you think that this step is going to become very easy for you? Unfortunately होता यह है कि people become sentimental, जज्बाती होके ना जी, लोगों का ख्याल है कि बस एक वो डेटा कलेक्शन करनी है. तो प्लीज रिमेंबर, क्रॉस सेक्शनल सर्वे के लिए स्पेशली आजकल आप ऑनलाइन फॉर्म फिल करें, गूगल फॉर्म फ्री का बनता है, and you can actually have data from 600 people in probably 6 days. That's not a big deal. इसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात है? Issue ये है कि is your research question good? Do you know how to convert that data into good writing? Do you know what are the issues with your data collection and analysis? Have you consulted a statistician? Do you have a good team who can support you in writing and publishing this article? So please remember, field work is a small part of the whole process of research and writing. The process starts from the pre-planning, from the teamwork, from the smart research question, and only then you come to the field work, and it will make your life easier. And last but not the least is choose your target journal before you start writing. So again, I'll do a quick poll. Okay, why I can't do my poll? Just give me a second, please. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. I want to do another activity with you guys. Just give me a second. Okay. Okay. Sorry, ये लगता है कि I'm really sorry. ये poll नहीं मिस हो रहा है. I'm sorry. It's my fault. Simply write yes or no. Do you agree that you should choose your target journal before you start writing? Do you agree? And why do you agree? Why? Why? Everyone agrees. Why? अबे ये मतलब कि आर्टिकल लिखा नहीं है, जर्नल पहले चूज कर रहे हैं. Okay, Sajjad, we must know the impact factor. Dr. Khola, to align everything accordingly. Dr. Amara, each journal has its own requirement. Dr. Amara Zari, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you very much. यार आप तो बहुत अकलमंद मेरा ऑडियंस है, आपको सब कुछ पहले ही आता है, तो मतलब काम शुरू करो ना, आर्टिकल लिखो ना. So yes, the answer is you have to choose your target journal before you start writing. इसमें कोई शक नहीं है. There is no, I mean, second opinion about it, right? Now the important thing is that how do you choose your target journal? Any idea? How do you choose? Any guidance for your colleagues and myself? Okay, Dr. Yusuf says audience. Dr. Khola says I'll go on Elsevier. That's fine. Anything else? Dr. Asad says I'll consider impact factor. Dr. Adnan, area of interest. Hafsa, more cited. Islam recommended, probably from your, okay. Journal related to my topic, knowing the impact factor. Some journals are specific to certain disorders. The journal I read more, good, excellent. So number one, please remember there can be many ways in which you can choose your target journal. Again, I'll give you a couple of ideas just food for thought. Number one, you might want to see the impact and value of your own research that you have just done. If your research is truly original research, it's very novel research, it's a groundbreaking research, and you think that this research is applicable in most of the parts of the world, please try to publish that research in an international biomedical journal instead of a local journal. I mean, you should try and try to go big. But if you think that your research is, I mean, it's good, but it's not very impactful, probably you might have collected data on a very small population. The thing you have done is a Me Too study. That is, that study has been done in other parts of the world, but you have just replicated that study in your own part. So that might not be very interesting for people living in the Canada or Northern America or maybe Europe. So you might want to publish that study in your own local context. So the first thing that you need to understand and evaluate is the impact of the research that you have done. Number two, there are two kinds of journal. One we call a general medical journal, which publishes almost everything. And then there are specialty journals. So the example of a general medical journal would be BMJ, Lancet, Journal of Pakistan Medical Association, Journal of College of Physicians and Surgeons of Pakistan, Iranian Medical Journal. The example of a specialty journal could be British Journal of Orthopedics, American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynae, Pakistan Journal of Surgery, Pakistan Journal of Pediatrics. If your article is of a journal nature, for example, if we talk of ophthalmology, so if you are talking of cataract, a cataract article can be published in a general medical journal and can also be published in a specialty journal related to ophthalmology. But for example, if your article is related to vitreoretinal surgery, a very specific subfield of ophthalmology, probably it's not a good idea to send it to a general medical journal, because general physicians and other people are not much interested in vitreoretinal surgery. So you have to send it to a specialty journal. Orthopedics. So if you are writing an article on general management or management of, let's say, osteoarthritis of the knee, you can publish it both in a general medical journal or a specialty journal. But if you're talking of a very specific surgical intervention or a surgical technique for osteoarthritis of the knee, probably it's a good idea to send it to a specialty journal. So this is how you make a decision that should you send it to a general medical journal or a specialty journal. Impact factor matters a lot. Yes, many people do go for the impact factor, but please remember, as the impact factor goes up, it becomes more and more difficult, and your research has to be of that high caliber in order to get published in that particular journal. So my personal recommendation would be, first of all, go for a low impact journal, and if you publish in that, then you start going up higher and higher and higher. You can actually try your luck publishing in Lancet or BMJ, and it's possible. I mean, if your research is really groundbreaking. But unfortunately, if you see the articles being published in Lancet and BMJ, they usually publish only high quality systematic review and meta-analysis or randomized controlled trial, which are multi-centered. They don't publish randomized controlled trial on 20, 30 or 200 people. They publish randomized controlled trials on like hundreds or thousands of people. So you have to put everything in context. Again, another important thing that people tend to forget is the publication cost. Many journals nowadays, they follow the open access model. Open access means that once the article is published, it is easily accessible for everyone without paying anything. But someone has to pay the fee, and it is the author who has to pay the fee. And many a time the fee ranges from 500 to 2,000 US dollars. It's a huge amount. And at least I'm not willing to pay that kind of money for a single article. Many journals, they allow or they give you waiver if you are from a developing country. But since Pakistan is not a totally developing country, it's considered a lower middle income country. So usually they give you 50% waiver, and 50% of $1,000 is still 500 US dollars. So again, it's pretty difficult to pay 75,000 rupees. So you need to consider all these things as well. And last but not the least is the review process and the publication time frame. Many journals, they clearly write that when the article was, when the article for, so किसी का unmute हो गया, please अगर आप mute कर दें, thank you. So many journals, they clearly write when the article was received and when it was published. So if you're short of time, so you might not want to send your article to that particular journal. For example, इस वक्त पाकिस्तान में the standard time frame for these 4 good journals, JPMA, JCPSP, PGMS and JMC, is 6 months to 12 months. 6 से 12 महीने में आपका आर्टिकल प्रोसेस होता है, पब्लिश उसके बाद होता है. If you're short of time, you might want to go to an international biomedical journal. Many of them, they actually review your article within a couple of weeks or 2-3 months. Either they directly reject it or they give you really good comments which can help you revise your article. This was the journal guidance. The world is moving at a fast pace again. Now you people have a very good, some good resources that can help you identify your journals to choose. And I'm only going to share 2 resources. One is known as Journal Guide and the other is known as JANE, Journal Author Name Estimator. Journal Guide and Journal Author Name Estimator. So what you do, that you put in your keywords or your abstract or your title in the search box and you click search. And this website is going to mix and match your keywords to the best international journals available out there. And it's going to give you their impact factor, whether they're open access or not, whether they're highly cited or not cited, and what is the link to that journal. So imagine you are getting all these services at a single click. Simple, आपने अच्छा रिसर्च, आपने टॉपिक चूज किया हो, अच्छे रिसर्च कीवर्ड्स चूज किए हो और एब्स्ट्रैक्ट अच्छा लिखा हो, you can put it in this chat in this box, and this website is going to mix and match your research article with the appropriate journal. It's a great resource. It was not available a couple of years back, and this is how the world is moving. So you need to use make best use of the resources that are available to you. So the summary is that internet is your friend, probably your best friend right now. So you need to train yourself before you start. Good research mentors can make a lot of difference. They make your life easier and they can help you progress in not only on your life, your career, but your research as well. And a little bit of pre-planning and spending some time in pre-planning will save you a lot of time, resources, and energy. Seek statistical advice in advance, collaborate, learn, and share whatever you learn in your journey. Follow guidelines, read a lot, and hopefully you are on your first step to write a good research article in an international biomedical journal. The take-home message is, it doesn't matter how many resources you have. If you don't know how to use them, it will never be enough. Internet is a free resource for all to use. The resources I have told you from AuthorAid, edX, Coursera, ICMG.org, clinicaltrials.gov, all of them are free to use for everyone. Now, it all depends on you how enthusiastic and keen you are to explore these resources and to educate yourself, to train yourself, and then you start your journey in the right direction. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, comments, and additions, please let me know.